and that turned into an invite to come shoot for Smith and Wesson, and the invite was based off of this was still 2010, so we got lots of disabled veterans coming back. Let's try to get guys shooting matches and get them off the couch, get them out with people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I took that, and that's kind of what I do with my nonprofit now. It's about getting people out, because in my own case, I would take the kids to school right after I got hurt. I'd take the kids to school, and then I would go, and if I was going to go shoot, I'd go shoot. I'd go hit the pool, and I get home, and it's noon, and I got nothing else to do. I'm going to have a drink. And then next thing you know, it's 2:00 in the morning, and you're still drinking.
Wow.
And, and it's
not doing you.
Yeah, it's not good. And then, we talked about alcohol as a depressant as I'm sliding down. And so it just, it was a bad situation. And so the shooting helped get me out in a way. And so the goal with me doing it was to try to help get other people out of the situation I was in and get them out to the range.
Yeah.
And then, so I started working, aside from just doing the matches, I started working with a charity called Honored American Veterans Afield. And they do just disabled veterans, but they do hunts, and then they do family range days. And so the family range days bring the whole family out to the range. We got bouncy houses for the kids. We got airsoft for the little kids. We got guns for everybody else to try. And I used to run a family day for them, and then we lost the facility. Just the facility that I ran mine at went away. And and then a while later, I got a call from a guy who'd been a cop, and I knew he was a master level IDPA shooter, and he'd gotten in a fight with a mentally ill suspect, ended up blind and deaf on one side, and he was wanting to get his IDPA classification bumped down. I was like, that's kind of being a pussy, I mean, I was like, why don't you just keep shooting as a master? I mean, people know you had to earn that master, you didn't get it given. And so just shoot as a master and let people know something bad happens to you and you're still out here throwing down. And but then in the same token, I said maybe I should do an event just for people with disabilities. And
yeah,
so that's where I took I took the competitive side and took it and made the nonprofit up, and we've been running this up at the SIG Academy. Now we just had our 6th event.
Wow.
And it's just getting people out.
Yeah. I think it's phenomenal. I mean, it's such a good purposeful cause that combines, kind of the history and what you're used to, and being outside and the camaraderie. I mean, like, there's just a lot of elements that I think are crucial, to being able to rehabilitate both physically and mentally from that regard.
Yeah, well, and the shooting community is kind of special in that too, and it's a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
But it's also, each discipline's a little different.
Yeah.
And it's but it's I feel like by getting people out, kind of just maybe part of that's me helping atone for my fuck up, killing people. But we're getting people out and we're helping them out. And we're getting people. We've got people out at my event. We get people that have never touched a gun before. We had a lady last year that had never touched a gun in her life.
Oh.
She recently ended up in a wheelchair. She got attacked. Came out, and the SIG guys were good enough, because the SIG Academy, they do so much for us up there. I paid them to run my event the first year. I paid like $10,000. Wow. And we had Michael Bain come out and do it for his show shooting gallery.
Nice.
So it was on TV. I mean, zooms in with the drone footage real big. Yeah. It's like, I paid you guys to give you that. But they since then they have bent over backwards for us. And so we had this lady last year that had never touched a gun, and so they broke off an instructor and gave her a special first shots class. And then she came out, she did our basic pistol, she did the advanced pistol we've got. She shot the match, she won a Glock off the prize table.
Damn.
The Glock rep up there, another small world story, the Glock rep was on the Jessica Lynch mission.
Wow.
As well. He was an Air Force combat controller attached to 1st Ranger Battalion Bravo Company.
Dude, the amount of small world instances that you have.
Well, it's I mean, I picked these little things. It's just weird.
It's like the Kevin Bacon of the fucking veteran community.
Maybe. I don't know. But so he's up there and he's the Glock rep for the area. And so it's like, hey, what's going on? And but he went out to her home range and set her up and and then she won a SIG off the prize table this year. She's getting lucky. Yeah, we give away more guns than most major matches do at my match. It's kind of sick.
That's cool.
And so we've had years where everybody's left with a gun.
That's badass.
It's insane. So I'm trying to get a Texas event going now.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, and I don't know what that is, but if there is, please don't hesitate because I'd love to help out. So adaptive defense, what is your goal long term with that? Obviously,
so the goal is we've got the event now at SIG, trying to branch off and do this one in Austin. We started off with adaptive defense because it started off with an IDPA match. We do some defense stuff, and we try to mix some competitive shooting. I figure it's all defensive training. If you're shooting, it doesn't really matter what kind of discipline you're shooting, and it's all training, and we're training for defense that way.
Yeah.
But I think the goal is to just get as many people out as we can with disabilities, and just get them off the couch, get them involved.
Yeah.
And we're having success. I mean, just up there where I've had this going, I mean, now there's a handful of people in wheelchairs that they're getting out and they're shooting matches regularly and stuff. They're bringing other people out and getting other people involved. And I think I guess at the end of the day, what I want is to get people out and involved in the firearms community. The more people we've got speaking up for it, the more people that'll fight for it, and the more people we're getting out with disabilities, the more people we're getting off the couch and helping. And if we can keep people from sitting on the couch and drinking themselves into punching their own ticket, I think it's better because it's a shitty place to be. I've been down there. It's not a pleasant place.
No, it's a super noble cause, man. I love to hear it, and I'm inspired and proud of you for doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
A couple other questions. Another Patreon question from Kevin: is there an advantage you have in your life now that you didn't have before the accident?
Shooting trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wheelchair puts me on a fucking plane to where it's almost cheating because everything is on a level plane. That's where I get an advantage.
Yeah.
That and occasionally I'll get a beverage or something out of it. But there's not enough advantage to make me recommend it to anybody.
Yeah. No, I guess the way I take that, I love the candidness of your answer, but like whether it's psychologically looking at things different or appreciating things more. I've heard that.
You certainly appreciate things. And I mean, and after almost dying, you definitely appreciate life a little bit more. I try, and I think really more it serves to let other people know. Because I mean, just telling you about the box, I mean, you don't think about it, but then you think about your back, you tweak something in your back and you think about trying to pick it and you're like, fuck, I can't. And it's like, that's every day.
Yeah.
And having to ask people for help, I've gotten to where I will ask for help when I need it.
Yeah.
And that was just that was an old unit guy, which was kind of another small world thing. There's a guy with a Ranger hat. Hey, where were you? Blah blah. Oh, he's in the exact same platoon as me. Left a couple of months before I got there. I went to the unit. And,
wow.
And he got hurt in a training accident. But somebody was trying to help me. I brought him out to a pistol match just to get a gun in his hands, and we were able to get him shimmy. He's a quad. He can't hardly use his hands, but we got a gun in his hand, and he was able to ring steel with it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And but he said you need to take the help when you can, because you're only going to be able to tough it out for so long, and it's I got one set of shoulders, and whenever I got to get them fixed again, that's going to be a long rehab.
Yeah,
and that's going to be I haven't just spent a whole lot of time in the hospital. It's going to be a shitty year.
Yeah.
When I got to get that shoulder redone. So I try to put that off as long as I can.
Does opening the box where it's at, taking the shit out and shit, does that make it any easier?
It all depends.
Yeah,
it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking piece of furniture, probably not.
Yeah, I had a light assembly show up yesterday, and it's not a huge box. It's only this big, but
it's heavy and awkward.
Yeah, it's just awkward. It's just long.
Yeah.
So you got to get a hold of the side, and it's like,
yeah.
What can you do? But again, I'm out there woodworking. I'm building a trellis right now as a housewarming gift for a friend.
Oh, neat.
And so it's got 8-foot sides.
Yeah.
And of course, as I come up with this plan in my head, I'm not thinking about how much this shit's going to weigh.
Yeah.
So I made a trellis. I built the lattice by hand, and the lattice is all.
Damn, that's cool.
The lattice is all 1/2 inch thick, 1.5 or 3/4 inch. Yeah, 3/4 inch thick, 1.5 wide.
Yeah.
And so that's the lattice in the middle. So each side is heavy as fuck.
Oh, I bet.
And I'm trying to sand this stuff. Like, to move it to sand it, it's like I gotta get in the middle. It's everything I got to get this one arm up and get it and just kind of drop it on the sawhorses without fucking it up.
Have you thought about making smaller shit?
Yeah. It's crossed my mind. I get a little over ambitious sometimes.
That's good. You got to shoot for the stars, right?
Yeah, and it's and I've got a great neighbor.
Yeah.
I can only see one neighbor's house. I can kind of see the neighbor behind me, but we got trees in between. And the one neighbor I can see is awesome. I'll throw up a hand. They'll come over and help whenever. He's
awesome.
home more than he's not home. He's Navy guy.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Girlfriend's kid just actually got to San Diego. He's in the Navy.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a GSE, General Services Electrician. So he's going to be on the USS Russell for the next 4 years.
Shit, good on him.
Yeah. No, it's a good move for a kid. I think more kids need it.
Yeah.
My youngest one wanted to, but he's got the asthma, and so it's not happening.
No,
And my daughter, nah. My oldest one just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Which I get it.
To each their own.
Watching 20 years of war and seeing living on a military base for most of that, and seeing seeing friends' parents not come home and stuff. I could see that.
Sure.
I still try to encourage the kids. I substitute taught for a year, and that's the same thing. Well, what do you think I should do? I'd go in the military if I was you. I'd go in the Navy and pick a skill. I'd come out with something.
Yeah.
Like an electrician or something, but I'd definitely,
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't change my path. I'd still do the Ranger thing.